Hello! So in this video I want to talk about codependency. Now if you've heard that term before, most people will probably say, no, I'm not codependent. How could I be codependent? Because I don't depend on others, right? Codependent, I'm not dependent on others. Now that's the problem with codependency right there. The word itself is actually fucked up, but because everyone's using the term, this is what we're using to communicate this phenomena. And what this phenomena actually is not that you are dependent on others when you're codependent, but actually, in most cases, others are dependent on you. Now, let me rephrase this. If you are codependent, it doesn't mean that you are depending on others for their help, but actually that you feel obligated to help others if they need help from you. Just as a simple example, for example, let's say a friend asks you for advice for the relationship, and they're in an abusive relationship. They need your help, they want to get out of it, they don't know what to do, they ask you what should they do. And even though it's their problem, you make it your problem. You feel as if their problem is your problem. Their emotions are your emotions, and you need to fix it. As a codependent, you will feel the rush, the need to fix their problem. You cannot stand in your own lane. So what happens with codependents, they have very thin boundaries. It's almost like you're merging with other person. You become one with other person. You're dissolving with other people. It's very hard for you to have a strong sense of identity that is separate from others. On the inside, you may feel like, I'm an independent person. I don't need anyone. You may even be very successful in a career. You might be the CEO of a company, and yet you're codependent. Because every time someone asks you for a favor, you feel this obligation somehow. Like, if I say no to that person, I'm gonna be a bad person. Or they're gonna shame me, they're gonna reject me, they're gonna be angry at me. There's always fear behind codependency. You may feel this fear somatically in the body. Think of any situation where someone is asking you for something or telling you something, and instead of honestly telling them, no, this is not I'm sorry, I cannot help you with this, or I wish I knew how to help you, but I can't. Or you see, you've been in this relationship for how many years? You'll have to figure this out on your own. I already gave you all the advice that I can give you, but I'm not gonna give you any more advice. So if you have problems doing this, if you feel fear of their reaction, if you say no, feel into your body, where do you feel this fear? So for example, I've been a codependent pretty much all my life. So I always felt this fear in my colon, and I describe it as an ice wall. I feel like when I am wanting to say no, and I want to say no, I feel this wall of ice saying, no, don't say that. If you say that, we're going to separate from you. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose influence on them. You're going to lose their favor. You're going to lose their codependency on you. So actually codependency is about feeling that others should depend on you, and you should always give them what they want, so you can depend on them. It's the kind of exchange that we make. And this also sets you up for manipulation. Because if you are not telling them no, if you don't say things that they don't want to hear, you're going to say all the things they want to hear. You're going to be a people pleaser, you're going to be a charmer, you're going to tell them everything to make sure that you are agreeable. And they can agree with you even if you don't agree with them. You're still going to make them agree with you. Or you agree with them even though you don't, you know? You see what this leads us? It leads us to manipulation. So you actually become very controlling in your communication. Every time I feel this ice wall, this fear in my body, that they're gonna reject me, they're gonna not like what I'm gonna say, I feel frozen. And this is where the solution comes in. If you feel frozen, if you feel this fear, you need to take a check on yourself, take a moment, don't react, don't give them what they want if it's against you. Instead, am I valuable? Does my opinion matter? Do my feelings matter? Ask yourself that. How much am I willing to sacrifice to hide myself? Just so they agree with me. You need to do this kind of inquiry to understand the psychological mechanisms behind your behavior. What you are doing is you're manipulating people if you're a codependent, which is perfectly fine, there's no judgment. This is what I've been doing all my life. This is what codependent people do. And they don't do it to harm others, they do it actually in reverse. They do it to harm themselves so they can manipulate others to like them. So this is the martyr, the sacrificial lamb, the do-gooder, the I'm going to be all things to all people. So if any of this applies to you in any way, shape or form, you have to learn to value your feelings that you have not been expressing. What have been you do, if you're a codependent, you have to ask yourself, what the hell have I been doing all my life? Hiding, shape-shifting, agreeing while disagreeing with myself. What the hell am I doing all of this for? Am I happy with this? Did this get me what I want? Yes, they like me. So what are they liking? They like me? No, they like the shapeshifter, the adapter, the mimic, the imitator, the pretender. That is what they like. They like a fake reality. You've been gaslighting them all your life. Can you accept that? Can you continue gaslighting them? Gaslighting yourself, telling yourself, oh, it's not so bad. People are happy if I do this, so it's okay. Is it okay to you? And what part of you is it not okay to? What part of you agrees and what part disagrees? And ask yourself, why does this part of me agree with this? Why do I allow myself to manipulate people to make them happy while making myself unhappy? And why does this other part of me disagree? Why does this part want to express honestly? What is it trying to accomplish? And how would it feel to go against the ice wall, against the fear, against the pressure, against the tension, against the tyrannical demands that you've been brainwashed with, that are telling you, you need to be agreeable, you need to give them what they want, so they like you. What would it be like to rebel against that? To rise up and say, fuck you, I'm gonna say what I want. And you can disagree, you can reject. How would that feel? Yes, you will still feel the fear if you do that. I'm not saying that one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna say all the things you always wanted to say. You're gonna be honest from one moment to the next, and it's gonna feel good. I'm not saying that. The reality is, in most cases, if you speak up honestly after living a life of lies, of manipulation, of gaslighting as a codependent at your own expense for them, after being doing this for your whole life, it's not gonna feel good for most of you to be honest with others and take the rejection. See the shift on their faces or see their comments online as they disagree with you and criticize you for not agreeing with them. It's not going to feel good. And what are you going to do when it doesn't feel good? Are you going to go back? Are you going to avoid again and again and again and again and again? Are you going to disappear inside yourself? Are you going to make yourself feel sick to make the other person feel happy? And where are you going to be 1 year from now on, 10 years from now on? What are you going to do? Are you going to be a real person? Are you going to be here? Are you going to be present? Are you going to show up for yourself? Or are you going to continue to disappear? So, that's a video, codependency. If this helps you, if you feel like this can help you towards being yourself, valuing yourself, understanding why it's important to be honest with others. If this helps you, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And I am looking forward to seeing more of you and reading your comments. Bye bye.